Hello everyone, Jeremy here, and this is a Nanoblock set. I had this particular set for a long time. I never did a video about it. I think I may have shown it briefly in a tour of my Lego shelf, but I never really sat down to put particular focus on Nanoblocks. And I figured now is as good a time as any to do it, because if you never heard of Nanoblocks, perhaps this can be something that will be interesting enough for you to maybe get into. So in the world of brick-based construction sets, toys, models, however you want to look at it, nanoblocks are among the smallest. They're these really, really small blocks that are much, much smaller than Lego. But like Lego, they are combined in order to make different structures. Now, there aren't a whole lot of licensed themes with nanoblocks, but what we get instead are historical buildings. For example, the Taj Mahal here that's located in India, and there are also a lot of other cool things as well. We've got space shuttle nanoblocks. There's nanoblocks based on the Statue of Liberty, the White House. We've got a castle from Germany that I'll also show you in a little bit. And it was a pretty decent challenge to put this together simply because it's just so small. Now, this Taj Mahal set comes with 420 pieces and nanoblocks on the box. It has it at basically a level 2 difficulty. So just going on this company's scale of how hard it is to put these things together, they think that it is a 2. And that's pretty low, especially considering it's 420 super, super small pieces. But when it is finished and when it comes together, despite the fact that the Taj Mahal does not have much color to it, so it may look kind of flat and kind of dull, and the only color pieces that we get are just kind of the blue pieces and sort of the lime green pieces along at the bottom. When it comes together, it's a really cool miniature display that you can easily just put up on the desk, and I wouldn't even consider this, it's not a toy to me, because you can't play with these things. They're so small, they're so delicate, and there's just nothing that you want to do with them other than just sit there, look at them, and just kind of be in awe of it all. Other little thing about nanoblocks that I've noticed when I was putting this together is that, they can be very finicky as far as getting the pieces to be exactly straight when you're putting them on together, because if they're just a little bit off center, it can maybe look a little bit strange, because you're like, oh, well, this block is perfectly straight and this one is jutting off to the side just slightly, so you gotta do like a little bit of fine tuning. But other than that, as I recall, they came together quite well. They were easy to put they were easy to stay together, not necessarily easy to put together because they're so small. So I would say if you got like big bare hands, big burly man hands, it might be really difficult to actually deal with these pieces and put things together. Here are the instructions that you get with a typical nanoblock set, and the Taj Mahal in particular. You just get this one piece of paper, like a little leaflet that's folded up into the really small box. And this is how the instructions basically work out. It's labeled according to steps, so we got step 1 right here, and then there's step 2, and then step 3 is down there, and it just kind of goes from left to right, top to bottom. And the way that you kind of figure out what you have to do next is basically whatever is grayed out, like what you see here and what you see here, those are the steps that you presumably already did. So you have to really just focus on the white parts in order to instruct you on what you need to do at that current time. So because it doesn't go step by step by step by step with you, you have to really pay attention, at least the first time that you put together a nanoblock set, unless they change the instructions since this particular set, because you can be thrown off by, like, did I do this? Did I not do this part? And man, when you're dealing with such small pieces, it could end up being a little bit frustrating if you lose your place. But all it takes is just some concentration and some dry hands and some patience, and you can get through this just fine. And this is the castle I mentioned a little while ago. It's located in Germany. I can't for the life of me pronounce what this castle is properly called. It's something along the lines of Neuschwanstein Castle. I probably got that all wrong. but this castle is 550 pieces, so it is more pieces than the Taj Mahal, and it's a lot more colorful because not only do we have the white, we have a little bit of gold and the blue of the castle, but we also get these little miniature trees, little nanoblock built trees, and I think those are really, really neat. Now I admit, somewhere along the lines of putting this together, I completely screwed up. The instructions got away from me, and in order to finish the very last part of the build, I kind of had to flub it. But I think that for a regular person who just kind of looks at this, they'll never know that it's not built exactly like it's supposed to be built. To me, it still looks like a castle. Whatever, I'm happy with it, even though it's definitely not perfect, and it stands on my shelf worthy. Because I put in all that time and effort to build up this thing as best as I could. I think there's some very decent detail in it, and for that, that's a success to me. And the great thing about this, and even the Taj Mahals and these Nanoblock sets, they are not that expensive at all. You can quite easily find something, find this particular castle or the Taj Mahal in your local Toys R Us or on Amazon.com, and you'll get it for maybe $12, $11, maybe even less, depending if there's a sale on it or not. You can find Nanoblock sets like this castle and the Taj Mahal here for a very, very affordable price, because even though they're hundreds of pieces, they're so small, so they don't cost all that much. The castle you can get on Amazon right now for about $15, and the Taj Mahal somewhere around that same price range, maybe even a little bit cheaper depending on where you look. And you can also find them in Toys R Us. That's where I got these from. I got these from Toys R Us. And when you go into Toys R Us and you look for these Nanoblock sets, typically you will find quite a few of them, and they're not just the structures here. You can find nanoblocks based on animals, seasonal things like Santa Claus. I've seen Hello Kitty nanoblocks as well, and also for us gamers out there, there is a Pikachu nanoblock set, and there's also one for Mega Man. So that's really great, and they don't cost that much either. There are some nanoblock sets that'll cost you $30, $40, maybe even a little bit more expensive than that. At one point, I believe like the White House was, but you can really find these things on sale fairly often. And especially compared to some of the other sets in the brick-based world, you know, these don't have like little figures with them, but for the models that they are, they really look great, and it's really good for the price. So, you know, if you are older like me, or if you just want to experiment with a different type of brick-based building systems, I would definitely give Nanoblocks a try if you are not turned off or intimidated by their very diminutive size. But they do hold a lot of cool, decent detail in their final builds, and you know, I really recommend giving them the go because they're not expensive, and if you don't like it, hey, it's not like you're out of a lot of money. So give it a try. They get thumbs up for me, and in the future, I'm looking forward to trying them out again when I can. So thanks so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Jeremy, and I'll talk to you later.